Happy Sunday. There are so many ways to get your Psychology Today profile converting, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that today with 5 quick tips. Hi, my name is Dr. Brooklyn Storme, and I'm a private practice specialist, and I do videos every single day to help you create success in your business. Okay, so welcome, welcome, welcome. So, first off, the thing that I would love for you to know is that Psychology Today profiles are not just for psychologists. In fact, you can go on Psychology Today as a counselor or as any other health practitioner, pretty much. There aren't that many limitations. At the moment, and I do need to go and update mine actually, but at the moment, mine's for supervision. So I'm using Psychology Today to promote supervision. So yes, if you were wondering, well, I can't because I'm not a counselor and I'm not a psychologist, you can. So social workers can, play therapists, occupational therapists, you can. Okay, now, why isn't it converting? There could be many reasons, and it's hard for me to explain without knowing a little bit more about your particular profile. But I can give you some general ideas about why they don't convert, and maybe if any of these land for you, you'll get some aha moments. You'll be able to go and update your Psychology Today profile. So the first thing is there's lack of a clear niche. Okay, now this is really important because Psychology Today is a great big directory full of hundreds and thousands of practitioners from all over the world, many of whom provide online services, all kind of competing in air quotes for your client. So without a clearly articulated niche, you're just going to get lost in the white noise. So if you're there saying, "I do all the things for all the people and I want to help everybody," I think that's really a beautiful sentiment, but it's not a great way to run your business because you'll end up helping nobody or you'll start getting the wrong clients for your private practice. And we don't want that. And by wrong clients, you just mean people who perhaps aren't the right fit for your service or, things like that. The other thing is when you write your Psychology Today profile, um, don't write it as if you're speaking to other therapists. This is really important. And in fact, when you learn about marketing, one of the very first things that they teach you is that you should always write to a year 7 level. Okay, so a year 7 level, because that way we can make sure wherever possible that anybody can understand what we're writing. So if you're using therapy speak, other therapists will understand and other allied health practitioners will understand what you're talking about, but your clients might not. So when you say something like therapeutic modality, if you don't think a 12-year-old would understand that, don't use that phrase. Likewise, if you're using abbreviations like ACT, like ACT, or CBT, or EMDR, that's fine for you to use those in our professional communities where we all come together and talk about those things. But if you stopped somebody on the street and you said to them, "Do you know what ACT is or do you know what EMDR is?" they're probably going to look at you like you're a little bit strange. They won't understand what that is. So avoid using terms that the general public just don't understand and can't connect with. Okay. Also, something weird some people do, I think it's a little bit strange, talk about themselves in the third person. With your marketing, it's all about three things: building rapport. The next thing is building trust, and we do that through, demonstrating authority or credibility, building connections, those types of things. And then the third thing is through demonstrating transformation and showing somebody what's possible for them. So when we're talking about ourselves in the third person, it interrupts or creates an impediment to us being able to build rapport with somebody. It's very subtle, but it does actually make quite a big difference. The next thing to remember is when you're creating your Psychology Today profile, you have an option of doing a 15-second video. Now, lots of people don't want to do the video, and I understand that you might not be a camera person. I'm more of a camera person than a blog person. Like, I say I'll never write a blog, but who knows? Maybe I will one day. But I find it much easier to do podcasts and speak on camera. But the reason why I want you to consider including a video on your Psychology Today profile is because it helps build rapport and connection. When somebody can hear what you sound like, see what you move, see how you move, maybe see your space that you're working in, they get a bit of a sense for who you are. And that can really be so important when it comes to building that connection with you, because the nonverbal is just as important as the verbal. But when you go and make your video, don't repeat anything that you've already put in your profile. You've only got 15 seconds. So there's no point just repeating what you've already got. And also, don't talk about you, don't talk about yourself. Now, I know this is going to trip some of you up because you'll be thinking, but it's my video and this is how I'm marketing and I'm promoting myself, but you're saying don't talk about myself. That's right. I'm saying don't make it about you. Make the video about your client. Make it for your client, and make it about your client. Okay, that's a hint there. The other thing too is you've got the option to include 10 pictures. So I would include, if you have professional headshots, sure, use them, but also take a photo of you out near some greenery somewhere. Take a photo of your practice, take a photo of the front of your building if you have a physical location, take a photo of any landmarks in your area. Things like that can really help. And then underneath each one of those pictures, do include a sentence that describes what's in the photo, because this will make the profile more accessible for all members of the community. And then the last thing too is I just want you to remember to stick to your scope of confidence, okay? Competence. Stick to your scope of competence. So when you first apply for your Psychology Today profile and you get it, it lists out a lot of treatment modalities, and a lot of inexperienced or new or novice private practice owners or therapists will go and they'll go, oh, I know that, and they'll tick EMDR, or they'll tick trauma, or they'll tick grief and loss, and they go tick all of the they'll tick all of the modalities that are on offer, and they'll tick all of the presenting problems that are on offer, like the reasons why people go and get help. They tick all of those too. And then they'll go and tick all of the age ranges, and they'll say, well, you know what? I did see somebody once who was 3 years old, and then I did see somebody else another time who was 94 years old. So, yeah, I see people across. No, we don't do that, because when you are saying that you help all the people with all the things in all the ways, all of a sudden you stand for nothing, and your profile just won't convert as well as somebody who says, I work with perimenopausal women who have anxiety. That is so clear. We know who you work with, we know who we're going to refer to you. And so when we get the perimenopausal woman with anxiety, we're sending her to you. We're not going to send it to the practice that's doing all the things for all the people all the time, and because we don't know what they do. So yes, please don't put anything in the modalities or the problems. If you, well, with modalities, if you don't have a piece of paper to back up that you know how to do it, I would remove it from your profile. And for I was going to say modalities, for the presenting problems, if you don't have competence or experience working in those, I would remove them from your profile, because also, depending on which body you're with, you could be with, Australian Association of Social Workers, or you could be with the Australian Psychological Society, or AAPI, or ACA, or all the things with an A. They're going to have their own ethical guidelines around marketing. So we can't be misleading. We can't let people think that we're qualified and competent in things if we don't actually have the bones to back it up. So remove all of those things. It will really tighten up your thing as well. And when it comes to ages, nobody's saying that you can't work with somebody who's 3 years old all the way up to 94 years old. If you're skilled and you're competent, go for it. But when it comes to marketing, saying that you work with the whole entire lifespan means that you don't really have a particular focus working with anybody, and that's going to make it harder for you to get clients. Now, in saying all of this, I know that there will be people who are exceptions to the rule, and if that's you, amazing. I'm really happy for you. But for most people, these are the challenges, and this is why you haven't been getting inquiries on your Psychology Today profile, and it's also what to do to get them. Okay, so if you have any questions about your Psychology Today profile, about what you could do to increase inquiries or get more bookings and things like that, just pop them in the notes below. I answer all comments, usually within about 24 hours, but from time to time, some do slip through. I just miss them for some reason. So if that has happened to you, please feel free to tag me and just bump the comment. I will not be offended, I promise. I'll be more offended if you didn't, because I do really want to be able to help you and support you with your private practice. If you found this video helpful, you might like to consider subscribing. Every week there's an extended premium version of content just for the subscribers. I hope that you have a really, really wonderful Sunday, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.